Hey y'all, welcome back. So if you watch my previous YouTube, I made a candle for my ancestors. I lit that puppy up, okay? And remember what I said, disclaimer, and this was with all candles, not just candles that you are DIYing, okay? You need to keep a close eye on them. So I just wanna share with you what ended up happening. And I was obviously in the area. I made sure to keep an eye on my candles because this is the first time I DIY my candles and I want to make sure that they came out. One, that they came out, but two, the candles that I made previously, which I'll show you right now, the flowers were far away from the wick so that they wouldn't catch the flame on fire. However, these rosebuds, not the rosebuds, yes, these flower buds, the rosebud and the red buds of this particular flower, because my candle is smaller, the buds were too big and they were too close to the wick. So hope you can see this. I'll figure out and take more time to edit my videos, but let me see here. So as you can see, the rosebuds caught too close. Okay, they were way too close to the wick and they were too big. All right, so these rosebuds and the red flower buds that I have here, they were too close and they started to catch. Now I let them burn for a little bit longer and then I stopped recording because I wanted to make sure that just in case, just in case. And I did move my beautiful orchid out of the way. That's Lilith, by the way. And I blew out the flame because this is a learning process for me. So let me tell you what I did, because I am going to gift one of these candles that I made last night. And like I said, this candle right here, I had been burning. Okay, so she hasn't given me any issues at all. But these are rose petals and they are far away from the flame, from the wick. Okay. So this is rose petals, the moon quartz I put in, and some lavender buds. Now this one is the one that had the rosebuds, and it also had the red gomphanthriol buds, the ones that were just catching fire. So what I did was that I moved them further away, but because I think they had already caught, they were just catching that flame. So I went ahead and removed them, and here they are. Okay, here's the flower that caught. You can see how, I mean, she's not torch, but And then this one, I tried to take her out and I thought, okay, well, the inside broke off, let's see, but she was still starting to get a little scorched on the ends. These rosebuds also, they were starting to catch. These are the ones I put together. These, however, I had been burning this candle for a while, and it was in this particular candle right here. Now, I know. When they started melting, the wax started melting, the buds started sliding. So they were sliding closer and closer to the flame and they caught fire, which normally wouldn't be such an issue. I mean, everything is pretty much flammable. Even our clothes are flammable. But because I am gifting one of these, and usually I light these when I'm meditating, but I am going to want to have candles for my altar. So what I am going to start doing is I'm going to start experimenting and see how my rose petals do with the lavender buds. And this one has the basil in it, so I'm checking that basil, and maybe I can start using some fresh basil. Now the basil did great, and it's sliding on the side of the candle, so it's away from the wick. Now it's getting a little closer and closer to the center because I was trying to dress the top. So I'll keep an eye on that baby, and then I'll keep an eye on all these babies and I'll keep you updated on how they do. But here's the one I'm going to gift. As you can tell, I have these particular flowers. They're nice and pointy, but they're beautiful. But the main purpose I bought these flowers was to start making teas. And I thought, oh, let me dress up a candle, which is all fine. But now that I know that these catch and they're too big for this particular size candle, I'm gonna actually go ahead and remove them so the person that I'm gifting it to doesn't like panic when we have a couple of flames going on. If they're small flames, you can let them burn through, but you need to keep an eye on them. So let's go ahead and take these puppies out. So again, we have, let me kind of move things around here. I thought right away, I'm like, you know what? I need to get back on channel because I don't want anyone or anything to happen to anyone, of course. All right, here we go. All right, so I have and if you have tweezers, I don't have tweezers that I can use right now because I only have the ones that I actually use for my face. But I'm using a wooden chopstick. That way I can easily toss it out. I did take out my moonstones. I'm gonna wash these babies because the moonstones really don't stay in there. They're more for, they were like a little, kind of give it that extra boost, and you can remove them and then place them around your candle. So that way they're not just kind of floating around in your candle. Was a nice little, adding that little extra touch, or if you're gifting it, they can see the stones and like, oh my gosh, stones. And that way when they start melting it, they blow out the candle, they can start removing their stones, and that's a nice little keepsake for them. Okay, so I have my plate ready to go. This is a cheapie. I got a 4-pack of these for $1. My heat resistant glove, my candle, of course, I'm going to be removing the flower from, and the gun. Now, if you were to gift this and say, and put on here, don't light this, this is basically just for decoration, that's okay. But make sure that the person knows that, or that you can remember not to light this baby, okay? That it's more for decoration. And if it was more for decoration, then we can kind of dress it up a little bit better. I did put lily leaves in here. And this is why I kind of want to do my own candles, because this is a pre-made one. You can see how it's very it's very muddy looking, if that makes sense. So it's not clear. But again, I'm just testing it out. I'm trying it out, and trial by error. That's why I started this channel, so I can learn. I'm learning and growing, and I want you to learn from my mistakes, because a lot of times we see we see a lot of videos and posts, and it's just like the end product and look how easy. But I love it when creators, personally, they post their fails. So, all right, now I have my heat gun. My candle is ready. I'm moving things away. That will be kind of hurt by the heat. So let me put my phone. Okay, and I'm putting it at the lowest setting, and let's begin. So remember, we want to keep caution, and we just want to keep moving the container, because we don't want to heat it at once. Even though we're going to be taking out these particular flowers, we don't want to heat one section of the glass only, and then, it gets too hot, and then we have shattered glass and injuries. We don't want that. I'm doing circular motions and just moving it around. Please don't let this kind of turn you off to the idea of creating your own candles or dressing your own candles, okay? Just with anything that you're working with a flame, you should always babysit it. It should always be within your eyesight. And that's with any candle that you purchase. So I'm going to heat the top a little bit, just so I can start. And I can already see that the wax is melting. So what I'm going to tell this particular person is, this is going to be your meditation candle. or maybe when you sit down to journal. Candle, so it's right there always, so you can journal, you can keep an eye on it. Tell me how it does. This is a trial run of these candles, and I actually did some research, and I'm going to start making some soy candles on my own. And now that I'm learning about the different properties of these flowers, I can do bigger candles, and I'll have more space. So I think I'm just trying to do too much in this little container. So be careful because the glass is going to be rather warm or hot. Let's see here. Again, if you had tweezers that you can spare, this might be a little bit easier, but I have my chopstick and it gets the job done. You just kind of have to, there it goes. See, there goes one. Oh shoot, sorry, you can't see that. I need to invest in one of those camera holders where you can see above me. Okay, so now I have two of the flowers loose. And now let's see, this third one might give me a little bit of a hard time because, no, actually, the one I thought was going to give me a hard time actually did not. Perfect. So place that on my tray. Let's see. Still a little warm. And everything's a mess. I don't own the rights to any of this music. I was just kind of jamming, doing some dishes, drinking some green tea, and doing some research. Okay, so now as we can see, actually, I'm going to bring the camera too. If you can see, now it's not as pretty, okay? So what we're going to do is we're going to use the heat gun to kind of melt the top of the candle just to even her out. I don't know who you are, but and I'm not going to add any more to it. I'm just going to leave it as is. I should have just left it as is to begin with, but live and learn. So I'm going on the top, going in circular motions. I'm going to give it a little bit of a shake, and I'm patting it down to kind of settle that wax. See a leaf in there that I'm probably going to grab. I'm going to push it further away from the wick. There we go. Okay. There's a little bit of a shake there. And I'm just going to try to move my little buds. These are my lavender buds. Moving it a little bit away from the wick because with the heat, kind of moved them. I don't know who you are. And since, there we go. I'm pushing down the lily leaf petal because it came up. So I'm pushing that further down. And then the moonstones, I don't want to put them in too deep because I do want the person who is getting this to fish them out. I do still want to use the petals from here if I can. Yes, I can. To kind of dress the sides. That way my flower's not going to waste and it'll be away from the wick. And I can still dress her up pretty. And who's to say this candle is even a female? There we go. So if you do have big buds like these, I would just recommend, if you're using a small little candle like this, to take it off the actual bud itself and just place the petals. You got what you need. I can use this other one. Trying to work a little quickly here. This one's tighter. There we go. Okay. Again, I'm going to go with it with my chopstick. Okay, now I can handle it. And I'm just going to move the petals away from the wick. Now, when it starts melting down, if they're not close enough to the wall of the candle, they're going to start floating towards the wick. But if you're keeping an eye on it and you're going to be in the same area, in the same room, just keep an eye. They'll probably spark a bit, but since we don't have that bud, it's not going to have a big old flame. I'm going to tell you though, I was like, oh my gosh, that's so cool. Okay, no more. I don't want it to get out of control. Okay, so our candle is still beautifully dressed. And I was actually reading, you can actually add some glitter, but not a lot, very, very little. And it's going to spark though. And you just need to do some research. Always do research. Don't ever take anything that a creator or someone is doing online like it is the word. Okay, always fact check and double check and watch other videos and other creators and kind of go what feels good to you. But if you're ever working with fire, make sure that you are there with it all the time. Okay, even if you go buy it from a reputable source, okay, a big business, a small business, whatever, you always want to keep an eye on it. Okay, now here's an alternative. If fires make you uncomfortable or creating this candle but you still want to get into it, I highly recommend these battery powered ones. They have special ones that look just like, I know the lighting is going off a little bit. It flickers like a real flame. There we go. It flickers like a real flame. It looks like it's burning. Look at how realistic that looks. And on the bottom, you can either have it all the way off. Let me see. Oh, right here. Duh. All the way off. You can turn it on. And it actually has a timer, this particular one. Okay, all you have to do is look up battery powered candles with timer and you can have it timed. Now you can dress this, okay? You can actually, if you want to, you know, add these little flowers to it on the top. You can put your crystals if you want to put your crystals. So it's still setting the same intention, just not with something with an actual flame. And that's perfectly fine too. So I thought of this when I was really staring at that flame, just, and I was like, huh, if people are feeling uncomfortable, and I hope this doesn't turn you off to it, but this is another option. Nice, safe, easy. Okay, so, all right. Thank you all for coming back. I super appreciate it. I just wanted to, I'm very transparent. So if something's not working, I will reach out for help. I'll ask you all out there, or I will try to fix it, but I want to show you along the way. Nobody's perfect, okay? And you are on this journey. So take every step, you know, that as a learning step. All right. I learned, you know what? These candles are burning great, but this one that I made was a little too much. And if I'm gifting this, and if I want to start my own business of doing candles or chocolatiering or you know, anything, I need to make sure that I test run all the way through before pushing forward. Okay, so again, have a beautiful day. Sun is out and bright and shining where I am. I hope you're having a lovely day as well. And I will see you next time. DanceTarotWitch.com. Find me on Instagram. You can find me on TikTok and on my Facebook page. And of course, here on YouTube. Bye, everyone. Have a great one.